I'm going to get right to the reading. Thought transference reveals one mind. Now, this subconscious mind belongs to no one man or woman alone, no child, boy, or little girl alone. For in it and through it all things live and have their being. Since it is infinite, it is indivisible, and therefore irrevocably one, and thus all life is tied together by an invisible but powerful bond. The principal experimental the principal experimental method and tool with which we may grasp this is thought transference. Second, and nearly as important, is intuition, that gut feeling when you know something ain't right, but you don't listen to yourself, or you're afraid of new knowledge coming to you and you're concerned about what others may think. The principal experimental method and tool with which we may grasp this is thought transference. Secondly, and nearly important, is intuition. Thought transference is that phenomenon whereby one person may grasp another person's thought without any apparent means of communication. Experiments along these lines have been conducted for many years, more recently under the surveillance of trained scientific minds, and the occurrence of phenomenon is indisputable. Original tests put subjects in different parts of the same building, one to transmit the picture of a simple drawing, the other to attempt to capture this picture and draw it with pencil on paper. Though results were far from perfect, they far exceeded any possibility of pure chance or coincidence. And even where the receiving subject was obviously in error, there was generally sufficient resemblance in his drawing to that of the picture held by the transmitting object or subject as to assure that a certain rapport had been actually established between the minds of these people. Separating these subjects by miles, continents, and oceans has made no difference in the percentage of successes against failures. Thought transference exists. That the human mind does not grasp it perfectly is only testimony to the fact that the conscious mind has imperfect contact with the universal subconscious mind. It is as simple for thought transference to take place across 3,000 miles of ocean as it is for it to span several feet of space. For the universal subconscious mind exists in only one place, which is all places, and there can be no distance or space within it. Think it's a joke. Think what I'm studying is phony. Because in a minute, that's why I'm pressed to come out here for a second demonstration. And then I'm gonna make a third this evening because I'm seriously on point. And the only person who needs to know that I'm on point is me. God already know. Intuition reveals an all-knowing mind. Intuition is that impact or aspect. Intuition is that impact and therefore aspect. Intuition is that aspect and therefore impact in certain aspects of the subconscious mind, which connects with ease. Let me say it again, because I'm like, yo, you mean my thing can really change from Monday to Tuesday? That means I don't have to wait for 30 days. That means that means I don't have to call on somebody else. That means I can remain silent except for those that I must share it with, and they'll let me know. I don't know how, but they'll let me know. I used to think that everybody was together, everybody was on one team. But I do know this. If I had been born European or what's called Caucasian, right, or of the Caucasus Mountains, I probably would not be as intense in what I'm doing. And because of that fact, because I have reflected on it for many years, what was the purpose of me being born in this life in which those who look like me have been categorized as Negro, black, Negroid, nigger, Naga? Yeah, Naga's on another level. That's Naga. That's the serpent god. But that's, I know. I'm gonna try to keep y'all on post, on point. Or Darky, Monkey, Mulyam. That was a. I remember one time I was in a federal spot and I heard this Italian dude make the comment. I was like, "What is that?" The dude say, in Italian it means eggplant, but it's actually a derogatory term that's used for what they call a porch monkey. I'm saying, okay. I said, okay. I used to think back in the day, there's always a martial arts student who may not know his skill, but someone else may know his skill, might be one of the instructors, so they make sure that he gets beat on by 4, 5, 6 people, no matter what he do, no matter what levels that they still beat him down. That's how I feel. I know I feel it and I know it that there's more to this. It's just that I can't put my finger on it. I can't put my thumb on it, but it's designed this way for a particular reason, a certain purpose, possibly beyond my true understanding. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything because I know how focused that I'm supposed to be. And I'm on it. So that's why I'm motivated to come back out here. It says intuition is that aspect, therefore impact of mental power which enables a person to contact certain aspects of the subconscious mind at ease. What does that mean? What does that mean to me? What does that mean to me? What does that mean? I mean, I'm thinking about they used to have this kind of commercial. I think it was for American Express card. It was called Master the Possibilities. And at the time, I didn't really understand that. Or how about this? I'll probably lose some people depending on your age. There used to be a sitcom on television called Get Smart, and his sidekick was 99. So when I was a little boy watching this, I had no idea until later that it was a satire, meaning it was like when you're trying to make fun of MI5 and MI6 for Scotland Yard in, I believe it's England, Britain, regarding 007. I had no idea that the 007 coded means license to kill for the British Crown. I mean, why would a guy like me want to know that? I mean, like, is it going to get me $5? Is it going to get me 50 cents? Why would I want to know that? What purpose does it connect with everything else? Well, in my particular case, it come down like this here. When the show would, I believe, come on, it would show him going into this building, that every time that he would go through these doors, as he's going through one, it would be open. As he goes to the next one, the back one behind him would be closing, and the one in front of him would be opening, right? So it was like, at that time, when I was a little boy, it was like unlimited doors. Probably now, probably maybe no more than maybe like 12 to 15, something like that. Then he would get to this one room, and then it would be a phone booth right there. And he'd open up the phone booth, the kind of like Superman would jump in, you know what I mean? Like they was back in the day. And once he got in the phone booth, once he closed the door, the phone would ring. But it wouldn't be the actual phone. His shoe would be the phone. And I can't remember exactly what he'd say, but that's how I look at this. I know this may sound corny, but it's like I'm Get Smart And Agent 99, I'm not even going to tell you who that is, because that might be blasphemous to some of y'all. But you know, at the end of the day, right, what I found out is that God is above all this. You know, like he is so far removed yet connected, like it's like on another level. You know what I'm saying? You know? And that's the reason why I'm motivated to take the information that I'm studying, which is on another level. And I was just thinking, a thought that came to me earlier. I said, what would have happened if Malcolm X would have been training 10 other individuals that nobody would have known about except him, that were even more powerful than him? That's called multiplication or duplication. So that's what I represent, but it won't be 10. It won't be 10. You know what I mean? And then the good thing in multiplication is that if you have certain individuals that are at a certain level naturally, and let's say you create 1,000, another 1,000 can create 100,000, that other 100,000 can create 1,000,000, exponential, x squared to the y factor. Then you can blend in and just sit back. They could know this and know that, and you could be at the pond fishing, and you just be going bananas about the fact that you just caught a rainbow trout, your first one, of course. But you know what you caught because you read about it before you went to the spot, and you know that the trout was going to be in there. And then, like back in the day, how the Native Americans would do, we would pray to the fish for giving up his life so that we could gain nourishment. I mean, this thing is on another level. You know what I mean? I don't even want to get into who was here first, Native American or people that look like me, because at the root, at the end of the day, one thing we do know is this. You cannot take two white gorillas and get a black gorilla, but you can take two black gorillas and get a white gorilla. It's called an albino. I mean, science is so much around us, but we don't pay attention to it. Like I'm in one of them kind of situations, I gotta pay attention to it, right? Because I mean, though I'm in the lap of 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 paradise, right? Your your paradise can be your hell if you don't know how to make it work for you. It's like this. How do you become your circumstance rather than letting your circumstance dictate how you should conduct and carry yourself? So my whole demonstration is partly learning and coming in such a way that it's not whether or not, like back in the day with the JBM, with the Junior Black Mafia in Philly and around Chester, and well, I believe it was North Philly, because I think in South Philly that's where the Italians was. They had certain mob families there. But anyway, um, it's not how they used to say either you gonna get down or lay down. No, this ain't even about this. What this is about is, if I have a cold glass of water where you can see the water running down on the side of the glass, and the glass is just something about the glass, it's like it's new, never been drank before, none of that, and you in the desert, you coming to me to get that water. And guess what I found out? This what really put my ego in check. It's not my water and it's not my glass. Just knowing that changes things. You know what I'm saying? But let me get back to the literature, as Mark Medley would say, out of Chester. Intuition is that aspect of mental power which enables a person to contact certain aspects of the subconscious mind with ease. In most cases, this phenomenon might be summed up as an intuitive grasp of universal law. Mathematical prodigies are cases in point. Ask such a one for the cube root of 21, comma 952,000, and his answer immediately will be 280. He does not stop to figure this, to factor, to add, to subtract, to multiply, to carry. The answer is apparent to him or her. It is apparent because he sees the law, and the law automatically yields the answer. There is nothing mystical or occult or witchcraft or idols or a rock or whatever that can make this manifest except one thing, the universal subconscious mind. Since the universal subconscious knows everything, it does not figure out anything. The answer is synonymous with the question. Synonymous mean is similar. Like it's like this. Within the problem is the solution, and the solution is the problem. Man. Universal subconscious mind knows everything. It does not figure out anything. The answer is synonymous with the question. Intuitively, the mathematical prodigy is in contact with the subconscious mind, and he sees immediately with the posing of the problem exactly what the answer is. He sees immediately with the posing of the problem exactly what the answer is. Musical prodigies are similarly intuitive. Music follows the same universal law as mathematics, a fact that may be difficult to assimilate for some of you mathematicians who can't sing a note, and some of you musicians to whom a problem in short division poses its own brand of terror. But the law is the same when it is apparent. Robert Millet Bay, not yet of school age, giving answers to complicated mathematical problems, and the child Beethoven composing a symphony, are both using the same intuitive grasp of universal law. I will end it with this because it's a little bit too hot out here, but I will be back on again.